Hey, welcome back, everybody. Signing here again with another episode of Chroma Technology 2. And just out doing some mining. And fluoride, I don't need that. Zinc, I'll take. And I just got to thinking about like how this pack has been put together and so on and so forth. And for the most part, I'm actually rather enjoying it. A little bit of criticism on it, though, here and there and everywhere else. One of which is there are too many, honestly, too many types of ore. Especially if we're supposed to be sticking with like applied energistics later on, which is something else. But there's there's no point, right? Especially silence gems. It adds a ton of different item types, and it is just in here for the most part looks like just a little bit of flavor because there's no real uses for it. Uh, Mod redundancy is another one. As near as I can tell, I mean the mods might get better as you go, but unless there's been some serious tweaking, max level mechanism machines are pretty equivalent to max level thermal when you get down to it. Druidcraft, there was really, I have yet to see anything, like, I like the fiery glass blocks, don't get me wrong, but, but why? I mean, honestly. But when it comes down to mining, I mean, just the amount of ores that you need, thank God at least there's not like 5 different types of copper, but, I mean, yeah, let's get some stuff put away here. I forgot to drop that off where I left, whoops, with those. But there's just too much, right? It feels bloated. There's like so many different, different gems and stuff. Like I said, there's really doesn't seem to be a use for them. Uh, Same with the end expansion. I mean, fun mod. I do like it, but why? I mean, there's already a ton of content in this mod. You didn't have to add that as well. All right, so monster box is fine. Some of the gating too just seems a bit much out there. But there's just too many similar mods, I think, is one of the problems. Or redundant. But I mean, I can understand, and other packs have done it well, including thermal and immersive engineering, mechanism, all those all in one. But like immersive engineering, just it's only in here because it feels like a gate to later mods. That's it. Same with create. And I mean, it does show up occasionally later on in components that you need, but why? I mean, create's a fun mod, but I don't think it really has a place in a pack like this where it's just going to get replaced and ignored for the most part. Um, and especially with needing singularities stuff like that, there's no way that create can run fast enough to even consider using it for anything along the lines of creating singularities. It's just if it is required, that is just going to be an extreme exercise in frustration. Another thing is there's just a ton of magic mods, which unlike most tech mods, magic mods require knowing a bit more about the actual mod itself than the unique mechanics and so on and so forth. Whereas like most tech mods, it's like, okay, well, here's this machine. It's pretty self-evident what it does for the most part. It's an ore doubler. You know, it's a furnace. It takes forge energy. Uh, And tech mods have done a really good job of actually just kind of integrating power systems and whatnot over the years. I mean, it used to be everybody had their own system, but it's not really the case anymore, which is nice, and it makes it go away. It makes it a lot more approachable and whatnot. And then you start throwing in a ton of magic mods, and it gets to be a bit much. Honestly, wow, my inventory's full again. Something else too. It's just there's so many different types of things that yeah. Oh yeah, look at this. Another one of these areas. Um, There didn't really seem to be any reason to add in some of the mods. Is one of the things. I mean, like Rats is cool and all, and it's a lot of fun, but does it really belong in an expert mode pack like this is trying to be? Probably not. Um, Especially since if you want to get into in-game stuff, you need the Rats mod, which is it's good integration. But that is not a mod set up for mass production, really. That is your more casual. Have I been over here? Must have. It's kind of like a more casual play style. Oh yeah, I remember this place now. I mean, it's not geared around the like being able to process types of ores to get, or not types, but the amounts of ores for singularities, or 12 stage crafting processes and so on and so forth. It's kind of the same thing with create. I mean, it's cool on a smaller scale, but the scale we're going to need around here, it's just I'm not seeing much of a point to it. And then there's things like the removal of external storage from refined storage, which uh I'm sure there's a reason for it. There's really no reason given, unfortunately. That is one thing, is this pack doesn't really have a lot of explanatory. There's not a whole lot of explanation once you get past the first chapters, right? I mean, it's you get all these quests and there's just make this, right? Okay, a little bit of information there, upgrade your windmill, Insulated, you could at least, maybe a blurb in here. Hey, it keeps you from being shocked. That'd be nice. Assembler, I have no idea why that's even a thing, because they're good, but they're so slow that why? I mean, really. Silence mechanics, it's like, okay, why is this mod in here, honestly? And I yeah. I've noticed that a lot with silence. Silence mechanisms is a good mod, and whenever it was one of the first mods to be updated to this edition, it was good, but it doesn't have anything special to it. It's your standard like ore mod, really. I mean, your standard tech mod. Power generator is diesel and oil refining. Okay, cool. Salvager. I made this thing and it didn't count. All right, whatever. But it's just like, okay, there's really not much, that makes it stand out, right? Power is kind of the same way. I mean, it's not a bad mod. It's drab. I mean, when you get down to it, there's only like what 5 or 6 basic generators in Power. It's just everything else is it's just an upgrade. And it's like, okay, well, that's the thing. I mean, but if we want nuclear reactors, why don't we just go with extreme reactors and call it good? There's thermal power. Okay, well, we got immersive engineering for that. And when you get on reactors, like, oh, we've also got mechanism. And kind of same vein, though, why would you include both applied energistics and refined storage into a pack, right? Granted, I love refined storage, and I would definitely, prefer that one over applied energistics, because mainly it's the stylistic thing. And from what I've noticed, the Raoul from refined storage is a lot more approachable and interactive than algorithm is from applied energistics. Even if algorithm's still doing it, I don't know if uh, they're still doing this in 1.16 or it's been handed off to somebody else. I have no idea. Let's see. Oh, get scared of stoneling. Yeah, I mean, I'm not coming down on the pack at all. It's just it's bloat, honestly. And I was thinking about that while I was waiting for this pack to start up today and for my world to load in. And something else that kind of occurred to me is 1.16. It's a decent ecosystem for mods, but it's lacking a lot of the performance and whatnot of like 1.12, 1.7, hell, even 1.10 at this point, honestly. And 1.10 was a crapshoot on on modded Minecraft. So it feels rushed, which unfortunately it was, but it's not ready for big packs like this, I think. Hell, even 1.16 vanilla, it still has, you know, well, there's still the performance issues. You can fix a lot of that through Forge, but you can't get rid of all of it. I'm thinking, it almost might be time for Forge to sit down and be like, okay, now this is going to be our version. This is what we're going to do, instead of trying to constantly come up with the new hot stuff. Oh, is that more zinc back there? It was. Okay. Yeah, another point against, Create was the adding in zinc and bronze or brass and whatnot. It's not really needed. Like, there's a ton of zinc in the world, but, like, what do you use it for besides Create? I mean, really, right? Zinc, right? Let's see. Zinc ingots. We can do silence gear stuff, which is also redundant when you include tinkers. I'll be completely honest here. And there's zinc blocks. There's more silence gear stuff. And then there's the industrial foregoing metallurgical mycelial generator, which I'm pretty sure that, yeah, this accepts any ingot, so that doesn't count. Let's see. Accepts any forge ingot. Okay. Same thing there. So there's the packing, automated shape crafting, which we've already gone through. All right, mixing. Here we go. Brass, right? That's kind of it, isn't it? Yeah, liquid meat plus zinc equals power, right? That's probably what I'm going to end up using a lot of it for. A couple recipes for brass. There is zinc seeds. Oh, hooray. There's bismuth brass from Silence Mechanisms, which is literally only used for that mod. For the alloy smelter, right? Oh, dang it. That's just one of my groups about 116. You hit the back button on your mouse, it just takes you out completely. And it's like, okay, why? But yeah, okay, so crafting recipes for brass, we have create stuff and silence. And oh, that's create. And yeah, that's it. So, but it's just one more thing to deal with that honestly we don't need to. And again, back to the AE2 thing. Y'all know you can only put 63 types of items per disc, right? Not something that's ever changed and I think is ever going to change in AE2. Well, we have 133 pages of items. You know how many discs that is? I don't want to do that math. But I know that there's more than 63 items per page. Which is why one of the reasons I prefer refined storage. So, and then it got kind of neutered in this pack. Bit unfortunate, but it's up to it is up to the pack dev. All right, so I did not want to actually get fluorite. I've got so much fluorite already, and thanks, Aiden, we can't compress fluorite anymore. Used to be you can make a block out of it, and that would at least help with what's going on. But I can't even use it as a building block anymore. It's a shame. Or maybe it was removed for this mod, in which case, probably shouldn't blame the dev mechanism, but hi guys. Dead end. Okay. On a similar note, Reliquary. Okay, why? I'm not seeing a whole lot of reason for it. It's a fun mod, but for one, it adds in a ton more, mob drops that you have to deal with in a mob farm. It's not necessarily great, but also it's not balanced at all. One mob farm later, especially with the drop rate on the charms and whatnot, I am basically immune to most enemies in the mod now. They don't even consider me to be a threat. And if I kill enough withers, I could become, ignored by the wither as well, which is just why. So that's a configuration option right there. But also at the same time, Reliquary has a lot of duplicated functions in other mods. So it's just why bother at that point? When we've already got cyclic, which I think everybody knows how I feel about the cyclic pipes by now. But I mean, it's a pretty good jack of all trades mod. It really is. It is kind of sort of trying to be, extra utilities too, but not like that mod's probably ever gonna come back. At least not that Tim has ever said. So he did kind of leave it open back whenever the development stopped, but that was kind of about it. So yeah, I needed a bunch. I still need a bunch of resources. Something else is, I don't know why, but in this pack, it might be the different ores and everything. It seems like it just takes forever, so much longer just to even get resources together. It's just finding them and whatnot. It just, I don't know. Like I was down there for a good amount of time. I found just so, I mean, so little. And it's like that every time I go mining here. I'm not sure if that's a 116 thing or whatnot, but the ore generation rate for this pack does need to be turned up quite a bit. Because I played a couple other 116s and yeah, it was a lot more productive to go mining. But automated mining is just so far out of reach now that I guess we have quarry rats, right? I mean, that could work. Speaking of which, I need to oops. There you go. There you go. Have fun. That's yeah, something else too. You're gonna like the little like squash balls thing. I wish there was another way to automate that. I really do. That would be so much nicer. But the only way to get those is from rats. So, which is a bit unfortunate there. Because they're not fast. It's not a mod geared for mass production. But let's see. Other things though too. Having all the magic mods chained through each other is not bad. I don't need that pouch right now. But like elemental craft, I mean, it looks like it could be a pretty cool mod. I've never heard of it before. And thank God there's a book for it, because if we were relying on the quest book, okay, element extractor, okay, well then how do I it's not an element container, okay, well then how do I move from here to here? Craft item with the element, improved version of the extractor, okay, that's a bit of a given. There's pipes, but can transport a few amount of element. Permit you to craft spell. But yeah, there's like no, here's how to work this, right? Eidolon, same thing. Two-step craft, okay. Ritual crystallization. See, this has a bit more information, but it's another one of those mods I don't know anything about. And thank God for the book. Botania, no decent amount. Blood magic, yes. Apotheosis, yeah. Why do we have Mohosukai, though? As near as I can tell, it's not used for anything besides a little bit of flavor to the back, which, okay, but why? It's just a few things like that that kind of bug me a little bit. Well, especially when it takes as long as it does to load up the pack and then load the world. And I don't exactly have a weak computer, so yeah, it's just one of those things. Like I don't know, just could have been done better. One of those fall outside. No, it's on top. Okay, okay. But so that's kind of my. Oh, you've got grades. And something that is kind of annoying, especially when you're building stuff, there's no stack replacement mod. So if you're laying down like a stack of blocks, it doesn't automatically refill your hotbar whenever you run out. You said it, Dragon. Yeah, little things like that. But yeah, it's like, yeah, I had quite a bit of create set up. I mean, not a huge amounts. Right now, this is all I've got, and this is all I need for where I'm at in the game. Is just I need to make copper sheets occasionally. And, yeah, it's just like the whole integration thing. But yeah, Ars Nouveau is kind of sort of locked behind Elemental Craft, and then Ars Nouveau gates Britannia, and then Britannia. Let's see, where is your gate thing, right? Let's see. Blood Altar requires a block of mana diamond. Here we go. Also, the blocks of nitro crystal. Really? Before I get into blood magic, I need to have basically a wither farm set up. Because this is a recipe, but I really don't think I'm going to be getting to make these seeds anytime soon. Also, look how many nitro crystals we need. So, before I can even get into blood magic, I need a wither farm. Okay, which I'm on my way there. Let's see. And I'm kind of wondering if Powa is mainly in here just for the crafting, just the energizing orb and the crafting recipes. It possibly could be. Because Powa is kind of an underwhelming mod when you get down to it, especially whenever you start talking like mechanism fusion reactors and extreme reactor and so on and so forth, right? Powa is kind of like, oh, it's there. Hell, actually, immersive engineering diesel engines. There we go. Still quite a bit of work goes into it, and done, and you don't have to constantly go out mining for uranite and whatnot. Right? But I'm actually a little strapped for time today, which is one of the reasons why this episode was a talkier one. And I just realized that it's a good thing I was talking more because my game sounds have not been recording. At least my microphone is. That's a plus. But I'm going to go ahead and call this an episode. Like I said, sorry for the shorter one. I've got stuff going on away from the computer that I have to go take care of. So, but thank you for coming out. I hope you enjoyed the episode. And until next time, Science signing out. Have fun.